Hey there, and welcome to Workforce Pulse, the podcast for recruitment and staffing founders who are ready to grow, scale, and shake up the industry. I'm your host, Kirutika Munusamy, and I'm so glad that you're here. This is where we have real, no-nonsense conversations about what it takes to build a thriving business in recruitment and staffing. Forget the fluff. We're all about strategies that actually work, shared by the people who've been there and done it. A quick shout out to our sponsor, Ambrosial Automations. At Ambrosial Automations, we are kind of your behind-the-scene partner. We streamline your operations, bring in quality leads, boost sales, and scale, all without the upfront risky costs. We work on a revenue share model, so we don't succeed unless you do. If you're curious about how it works, head over to ambrosialautomations.com for a free 12-month growth plan that is tailored just for you. All right, let's dive in. Today, we have a very special guest joining us, Mark, VP of Government Affairs and U.S. Country Manager at Joblio. In his role, he oversees government relations and operations within the U.S., aiming to facilitate ethical and efficient employment solutions. Prior to joining Joblio, Mark had a distinguished nearly 30-year career as Senior Special Agent with the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Mark, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
The pleasure is all ours. So, Mark, in a nutshell, what does Joblio do? And can you also brief us on your background and role within Joblio?
Sure. So Joblio is a tech-enabled human capital management company that focuses on both the employer and the employee and ensures success through retention and ensures success through a hands-on approach that we feel is proprietary to the industry. So with each individual that we recruit and we place at an employer, whether that's in the United States, Canada, Europe, or anywhere overseas in the Middle East, we assign a community operations manager to that particular worker. And that person on day 1, on day 3, on day 5, and bi-weekly moving forward, we check in with that individual. So we want to ensure that that person is happy with their employment. We want to ensure that there's no issues with housing. We help with housing. We help find housing. We help with transportation to get to work. We help with ESL classes, depending on the market, depending on the country they're in. And we're there for them every step of the way. I mean, we've had situations where these workers had questions about a particular school district. And if a school district was good for their children, that was that specialized in music. And so we ensure success by ensuring retention with the employer. And so if we can have happy employees and happy workers, then the employer will be happy, and ultimately Joblio will have success because of that strategy.
Yeah, that's true. So can you also tell us something about some more things about what your job role is like in Joblio?
Absolutely. So currently I'm the Vice President of Government Affairs and U.S. Operations. So government affairs is a term that I guess varies depending on what country you're in and the degree of involvement. So in the immigration laws in the United States they're archaic and they could use to be updated, to be quite frank with you. Now Canada, the Middle East, Europe, they seem to have a much more progressive way of dealing with immigration. And when you deal with immigration properly and professionally and respectfully, it's just easier to alleviate the problems that you have in employment, for example. So we help recruit individuals from various countries to get to where we have markets set up, whether it's in Europe or whether it's in the Middle East, Canada.
Yeah.
We help them obtain the necessary work authorization, the necessary documents for them to actually land in that country. And once we do, then our community operations managers step in and ensure that success that we previously talked about. And so
Got it.
my role then is to work with government officials,
Mm-hmm.
government agencies to ensure that smooth transition from one country to the next to ensure success and retention with that employer.
Got it. Got it. So, are there any big trends that you're seeing in the industry right now?
Well, quite frankly, there's just a shortage of workers and the ability for people to find the right skill and the right, I guess, also too, I guess, mentality to work. And in the United States, and we've seen elsewhere, COVID really, unfortunately, put a damper on the industry.
Yeah.
Governments around the world, in their quest to help and assist people, enable people and allow them to, geez, for lack of a better word, be comfortable and not continue to pursue work and continue to pursue some advancement that they could potentially have. And so we've really seen in the United States where the government, although they want to help, and the goal was to help the citizens of the United States and those permanent residents here get through a very challenging time. We've seen a lot of individuals that just don't want to go back to work. They don't want to go into the office to work. They're happy receiving government assistance. And
Mhm.
so there's been real conflict here, not only in the United States, but even elsewhere
Mhm.
when that government assistance or that government subsidy has been stopped or has been dramatically reduced.
Got it. And what's your opinion on remote work?
Well, I think remote work, I think it's got to be unique to that particular employer.
Mm-hmm.
Some jobs just, they lend itself to remote work, but then some jobs you need to be physically in an
Present.
office type setting.
Yeah.
And I think when you're in an office type setting, candidly, I think there's other side benefits and auxiliary benefits to that, right? There's the social aspect where you can
Yeah.
interact with people. And we've seen it during COVID where it's important to interact with people. It's important to
Yeah.
talk to people from someone's own personal health and well-being.
Yeah.
But also too, if you move to a different city, especially in my job, my previous job with Department of Homeland Security, where you're assigned, you may be from, for example, Boston or New York City, and you're assigned to Dallas, Texas, or Chicago, Illinois. Well, if you go into the office and you interact with people, again, it's a social aspect, right? You get to meet
Yeah.
different people, you get to see different people, you get to learn about that particular city. And so I think remote work has its advantages, but I think it also has some of its disadvantages as well. And I think
Yeah.
newer workers or those relocating really, I think, benefit from being in the office and interacting with their fellow
Yeah.
coworkers.
Got it. Got it. So now the workspace is the entire workforce is shifting more towards being present in the office rather than being work from home, right? So
Correct.
yeah.
Correct. And I think, I think truly, I think that's a benefit to, I just think the overall benefits far outweigh some of the negatives, right? And so I think though that it's incumbent on the employer to really work with the worker and ensure some success. And how do you do that? Maybe it's a hybrid. Maybe you're in
Yeah.
the office 3 days a week, you're home 2 days a week. There's childcare issues, there's family issues.
Yeah.
So I think it's really, and so from a job Leo perspective, what we try to do is we work with that worker. And if they have some issues or they have some concerns, we call the employer, we talk to the employer and we try to work out any issues that they may have, and try to resolve those in an amicable way that benefits both the employer and the employee.
Yeah. That's great. That's amazing. So are there apart from the trends, are there any big challenges you're seeing in the industry?
Well, I think the challenges now are I think it's a lack of available workers.
Yeah, talent shortage.
There's an incredible talent shortage, not just in one market or in one country. I think you're tending to see that throughout different markets and different countries, and it's not just germane to the healthcare industry, right? Or it's not just germane to the landscaping industry, whatever the case may be. I think it runs the gamut of whether you're in logistics, whether you're in manufacturing, whether you're in healthcare. Geez, you have this incredible shortage where, whether it's before COVID, I think COVID exacerbated some things, and I think COVID pushed some people to potentially retire or take different jobs that were a little bit more beneficial to them from a personal perspective. But industry-wide, we've seen massive issues with terms of talent shortages. And so what we've tried to do is, and what Joblio has done, is that we've helped to facilitate that movement of individuals from Africa, for example, or from countries like Azerbaijan or Egypt, and helps necessitate the workers that we may need, for example, in Lithuania or Poland or Israel. So we've been able to work with those countries and government officials to educate them. Like, hey, listen, if you have X number of openings and you don't have the workforce to staff them, then my gosh, what avenues do you have to fill those orders? And so we've really seen countries really appreciate and have open and honest dialogue about the problem.
That's great. But what you guys are doing is you're finding or sourcing the talent from abroad and filling the positions here in US. Am I right?
Well, we not only in the U.S., but we've done that for Lithuania. We've done that for Canada. We've done that for Israel. Just because, truthfully, those countries they have a more progressive attitude toward talent shortages and workers. The United States, obviously, especially with this new administration, we're very insulated in terms of our immigration policies. They unfortunately, and again, I could say this from a Joblio perspective, and I could say it from a Department of Homeland Security perspective. When I was working there, I just saw that there is a talent shortage, and as opposed to having individuals live under the cover of darkness and work for below standard wages and live in substandard housing, if there's a pathway to support them, if there's a pathway to lift them up and get them out of the shadows, and gosh, I mean, we want to do that, and selfishly, it benefits the country, right? Because these individuals now, instead of being paid cash, they're now being paid legitimately by the employer. They pay taxes, and so when you pay taxes, that supports the local communities, it supports the state, supports the federal government. And so now with more money coming into the government, then they can use that money for maybe additional schooling, some healthcare issues, some road work. I think the benefit is so much greater than keeping a very limited or short-sighted immigration policy.
Yeah. Oh, that's a pretty good insight, honestly. Are there any other big initiatives Joblio is working on at the moment, other than the international recruiting that you just mentioned?
Well, we have that, and what we're really focusing our efforts on, we have an entire tech team, and some are based in the United States, some are based over in Europe. And so we're putting together a really unique and proprietary platform that's going to link the employers with the employees, the workers that are interested in work. You'll be able to go right in your iPhone, and you'll be able to potentially, apply for, look for available jobs, apply for work. And what we're trying to do also is work with countries and consulate offices to work on visas right through the phone, and with AI integration, with facial recognition, And then at the same time, never lose our core mission of supporting the worker each and every step of the way. And I think when a worker, whether they start a new job in their own native country, or they have to go to a different country or a different city to work, I think they need that support.
Yeah.
And we found that. And so what we're initiating and what we're utilizing through our new platform that although we have a platform now, it's going to be enhanced and it'll be rolled out in July or August. It's going to be a platform that's going to cover the worker, the employer, and then those government regulations. There'll be an immigration component. So the platform will flip, for example, if you speak Spanish, if you speak Hindi, if you speak whatever language we have, we're going to have an opportunity to flip it so it'll communicate with you in your own language and offer support. And we have community operations managers located throughout the world and ambassadors that are going to help and steer people to the platform in order to ensure success and long-term viability.
Oh, nice. That's pretty neat.
It'll be exciting. We're very excited to roll it out, and we're already doing that now. We're bringing in people from other countries, and these workers are so appreciative of the support that Joblio can provide them.
Yeah,
They're coming to a new country. We're here to support them. We're here to help find them housing, help them with transportation to work.
Yeah,
and by doing that, again, we're disrupting the world of labor, right? Because you no longer have to use be involved in human smuggling or human trafficking. We don't want that. Nobody wants that. And that industry is a, unfortunately, it's $1 billion industry that's booming. And if we can disrupt that, and people can feel safe, if people can feel comfortable, then I think success follows.
That's true. That's very true. Okay. So other than the initiatives, are there any opportunities that lie ahead for Joblio this year?
Well, I mean, we like to continue to go into different markets. But the challenge for us is it's twofold, right? In the United States, it's a little bit different because it's so big and the markets, whether it's Dallas or whether it's Las Vegas, whether it's Atlanta, they're similar, right? You don't have to worry about government regulations, government entities, because it's one country. So we want to continue to expand overseas. We want to continue to expand in different markets, whether it's the UK, whether it's Italy, whether it's India. Like we feel that there's so much potential, and we've had so much success in Israel and in Europe, whether it's Poland, Romania, Lithuania, that there's a need there. And so, but instead of just filling the job, let's work with government, let's work with local officials, and let's obtain work authorizations for these individuals. And once they're in these new markets, now let's let Joblio's proprietary technology and innovative way of thinking make sure and ensure success for every worker there is.
Got it. Okay. Can you also tell us about the priorities and goals for 2025?
Yeah. So sure. So our goal is on a broad level, quite frankly, is to disrupt the world of work through technology. You, I, your family, my friends, we all have a cell phone, and the world now is changing. It's AI is a massive new entity that truly governments and people in general are still learning about.
Yeah.
And it's incredible what that can offer people. It's incredible with how easy it can make life. But again, it has to be done the right way. It has to be done in a responsible way.
Right.
And it has to be done in a way that respects the world, whether it's the world of work, whether it's the world of medicine, whether it's the world of anything, right? And it's very important. So our priorities is we want to not only disrupt the world of work, but we want to make a lasting impression. We realize that the world of work it's dynamic and it's changing, whether it's a work from home model, whether it's AI, whether it's constantly changing. And I think
Yeah.
if you're in the industry, if you're in staffing, if you're in recruitment, you need to truly be on the pulse of change.
Yeah.
And if you're not, we've seen that unfortunately you get left behind. And
Yeah.
and so I think it's important that our priority is, again, to work with different industries, different technologies, different governments to truly make a difference. And we also we want to help other people too. We want to help other recruiting companies. We want to help other staffing companies, because
Yeah.
if we could help them, gosh, then more success. What the expression is, it just keeps the tide rising for everybody. And
Yeah.
so, although we want to be successful ourselves, and we have been very successful, and we continue to be, it's great that when we help out, and we could provide insight to other individuals that are just starting out, or even those established professionals that have been in the industry for so long that maybe didn't think quite, geez, I never thought of it that way, or I never
Yeah.
considered something like that. So that's, for us, as we continue to expand, we just want to keep on changing minds and continuing to move forward and help as many people as we can.
Well, that's pretty nice. Helping others and growing together. That's pretty good mission to have. And since we are talking in that line, what would you say is Joblio's vision for next 2 to 3 years?
Well, the next 2 to 3 years is, we want anyone looking for work to go on their cell phone and just see where they want to work and what they want to do, and let the cell phone and to go on our app, on our platform. And as you look for work, gosh, there's these openings in London. I never even thought about going to London, but this is a great opportunity for me. Or there's an opportunity in Amman, Jordan, and I never really thought about going there, but let me look into this. And
Yeah.
so our goal is to have people instantly think of to expand their minds, and to it's different in the United States. It's easy to move from New York City to Los Angeles. You're in the same
Yeah.
country, and to move, and it makes life a little bit easier, because you're not changing countries, you're not changing cultures, you're not changing your way of life. But
Yeah.
if you're going to go from, for example, Egypt to Jordan, or if you're going to go from Egypt to London, or Frankfurt, Germany to Johannesburg, South Africa, it's going to take it's going to take some support. But we
Yeah.
want to be there. We want to be the first thought process. If you're looking for a job, I need to go to Joblio, because Joblio
Yeah.
has companies in these countries. They have support staff in those countries. They have ambassadors located throughout the world. So that's, selfishly, I think that's our goal, is if you're looking for a job, we want you to go right to your cell phone and download the Joblio app and
Mhm.
get on our platform, and let the world be your oyster, so to speak. And if you find a job, then we're going to be here to support you for it.
Yeah. Well, that's like you said, it's um becoming or making Joblio the best so that everybody could benefit from it. And
Absolutely.
you can just anybody from anywhere can learn about a job, move there. And obviously, since you guys are preparing on the background, are preparing for all these ambassadors and how you can reduce the cultural shock the employee is gonna feel, you guys are definitely doing a great job. If that the vision comes true in the next 2 years, we'll all be benefiting from it.
I
So
hope so. I hope so. And like I said, we started out, and we've had so much success. And even if you're in the staffing industry or the recruitment industry, and we'd love to partner with you. We'd
yeah,
love to. Obviously, these companies and these staffing agencies are incredible. They're awesome,
yeah,
and they do such a great job, and have such a great outlook on life. And we just want to share that. We're about lifting everybody up. The more people that are successful in the world, which is inevitably going to make people happy. And if you're happy
that's
and
true.
successful, gosh, let's share that, right? Let's
Yeah,
let everyone else be that way. And so
that's true.
we don't think of it as competition for us. We think
Yeah,
of it as let's just work together and get to a common goal of everyone
and rise
being
together.
successful. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, to our listeners, whoever, whether you are an employee or whether you're a candidate looking for a job or you're a recruitment company, you can always get in contact with Mark because he does not see you guys as a competition. He's here to help everybody win. So on the same note, that this will be the wrap for today's episode of Workforce Pulse. Huge thanks to our guest Mark for sharing his incredible insights. So now before we go, Mark, where can people find you if they want to connect or learn more about your work?
Absolutely. So our website is www.joblio.co, joblio.co. In addition, my personal email address is mreimann, MREIMANN @joblio.co. I'm on LinkedIn. So any opportunities that we have to connect, even if it's just to say hello and learn a little bit more about each other, feel free to reach out. I'd love to hear from you. And I appreciate the opportunity to come on the podcast and share a little insight of what makes me excited and what I think the world of work will look like in another couple of years. So thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, so that's perfect. So make sure you follow Mark on LinkedIn. And if you guys have any questions, email him directly, and also check out Joblio's website. To our listeners, if you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with someone who needs to hear it. And one more time, if you're stuck in the grind of manual processes or struggling to grow, we can help you optimize operations, bring in leads that convert, boost sales, scale without the upfront risk. Head over to ambrosialautomations.com to get your free custom 12-month growth plan. All right, that's it for today. Thanks again, Mark, and thank you everyone for tuning in. Let's build, grow, and keep the workforce pulse alive. See you next time.
Thank you.
Damn.